Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. You're watching the Aftershow for the Queen Sugar finale, Dream Variations, with our special guest, Dr. Alimi Ballard. Stay tuned for more. Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. Wow, what an epic finale.
Yes.
And we have quite the crew here. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Ballard.
Thanks for having me.
We are so excited.
Yes, we are.
As always, guys, my name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. Where can they find you?
What's up, you guys? You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Urban Gypsy LA.
Woo! Oh my God. Hey guys, it's Miss Candy Marie, and you can, Lord goodness, I don't know what's going on. And you can find me on Instagram at Miss Candy Marie and on Twitter at Sweet Candor TV.
And Mr. Ballard, where can they find you?
I'll be online. I'm on the interwebs, the World Wide Web. I remember when it first came out. Crazy enough. It's Alimi Ballard at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all the same thing.
Nice. I think I just called you Dr. Ballard on the intro.
Well, I'm a doctor, man. My mom thought I'd be smart. I don't know what happened. You call me doctor. I appreciate you, young brother.
I was like, we learning something new today.
Yeah.
I tell you, Dubois got me,
Yes.
Dr. Dubois.
I ain't got no glasses, but I'm still a doctor.
Man, so this was a heck of a finale. I actually wanted to ask you real quick off the top. You said you don't really watch the episode, so what did you, how did you feel getting a chance to just sit down and watch this one?
The first one I watched was the last one I think I appeared in, which was like episode 212. And so I got together a couple of friends and watched it, and it's a profound show. It affects me deeply and emotionally. So I'm glad I didn't watch any of the episodes. And so watching the last one, I was rocked. It was shook. I love that word, shooketh. Ava texted me one day. She's like, "That was shooketh." I was like, "Yes, that's the perfect word." And the performances that really knocked me off my feet were by Bianca Lawson and Kofi.
Wow.
Yes.
That story, what do you do with that level of mistrust, that level of lies? It rocks you. And you hear it. I mean, it's a real world problem.
Right.
It's something that happens, and the way they shot it. Of course, the writing by Ava and their performances. I blew them up online. I was like, shook it, son. They took me there. I was very quiet. You saw me watching. I'm just like,
he said, I don't know. He's like, I can't breathe.
Are you okay?
Yeah, because if you allow yourself to try to feel it, and put yourself in those shoes, and then you get maybe a taste of trying to process something that powerful.
Yeah, amazing. I want to get into, and actually, if you guys are in the chat, we'd love to hear your comments. If you have questions for Mr. Ballard, certainly we'll get to those.
Dr. Ballard.
Dr. Ballard, yes, officially now, Dr. Ballard. You heard it here first. I really loved Hollywood and Vi. I love when people just get to taste and have their dreams be tangible. What do you guys think about it?
Well, I fell in love with their love story a long time ago.
Yeah, of course.
And the way that the season ended with their love story, I'm speechless, and I'm happy that they were able to get that kind of happy ending. I just hope that it continues to unfold that way in season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I think everybody loves Hollywood and Vi. Everybody wants a Hollywood. Well, every woman wants a Hollywood, and it's just heartwarming to see them finally take that next step and to know that at that age you can still find love, true love.
Yeah, it's like the age is not a bar to what you're doing with your life.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's such a balance. I got a chance to tell Tina, how I felt about her performance at the after party after the season finale. And for me, she's the rock. She's the center. Everybody has that one auntie or your grandmama. Like my mom in my family, and I got a bunch of sisters. I'm the youngest. I got 1,000 nephews and nieces, but my mom is that rock.
Yes.
No matter what's going on, she'll text me, "Keep flying, son." I'd be like, how you know?
How
you know what happened that day, lady? But she got the Jedi. She's like, "Keep flying, son."
Mama knows.
Oh, but in a real way, not even in they know that something goes off within them, and she's that person for this family, and to see it portrayed so realistically, so beautifully by Tina. And of course, Omar Darcy who plays Hollywood. I mean, he's just a monster. He's a beast. They're just so beautiful together. I love it. It gives me life.
Right. And it's like at any age you can find love. love. You're deserving of love. And you can be loved exactly as you are.
And I got to ask all of you, because you guys were all at the finale, the taping. Hopefully you guys are super fans, saw them in the audience. What was the energy like just in that room real quick?
Magical.
It really was. It's just a bunch of fans, black women mostly, but of all ages, and there were black men there too, dressed in all these bright colors, and you can just tell everybody's just happy to be there. But as we're watching it, you can feel everybody's heart break together. You can feel every
we were all
emotion,
one
like
heartbeat.
everyone is like feeling it together. It was something I've never experienced before.
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
Oprah said something. I think that someone had asked her what character does she relate to, and Mama just dropped it. She says, I don't relate to any of the characters. I don't think I'm any of the characters. I'm the land. We were like, no! Blackness! Greatness! She was like, she's like,
the room.
Didn't she take everyone's breath away in that moment?
He was like, you sowed the seeds.
She's like, I am the land.
That
and I'm like,
answer was so fitting of Oprah.
It was everything to. Anyway, I worked at soap operas 1,000 years ago. I met Oprah one time at the Daytime Emmy Awards, and even then, I was a young guy. I'm looking at her like she was larger than life, right? So here I'm 45 years old. I think I'm gonna see her. I'll be like, she's still fills up the entire room, and she's magnificent. That's just my perspective.
Yeah.
The way I feel in her presence, and of course what she gives to this country, all people. What she's been able to do, the kind of energy and positivity she's been able to put through the airwaves for all of us. And I was there sitting there, I'm like shook. I'm looking at her like, God damn, she's the lady. She's the lady. I'm like, ain't nothing changed in 20 years, ain't nothing changed. And that was beautiful. No. It lifts you up to watch the fulfillment of such a large dream. And I'm sure she's just not done. Whatever's in her soul to get out there in this universe, you can tell she's just like not even done.
She almost feels like she's at the beginning.
Yeah.
Man.
She's at that platform now, like, now we can, we're going to buy 8 states. Oprah, I'm going to buy 8. And that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I have a question, because there too, when everyone's talking about their characters, it's almost a very thin line. Like, they get emotional talking about the character as if it's them.
Yeah.
So
they're so invested.
Very, very invested. So I'm just curious about you and your character and how you're feeling with everything going on with Nova. I need to know.
That was such a great question.
I need to know.
I'm trying to see the best way to say it. Very often, not so often you get the opportunity, right? And I can only speak for myself, I guess, to pour your whole heart and soul into something. Where you have the quiet dream that someone might relate to it, have lived this particular moment, and to play an adult dude with like maybe 3 PhDs in his back pocket, good credit in healthcare, or with a commitment to his people, headed on straight to find a woman as an adult and to begin to fall in love with her. And that's a real story. There's a lot of Coca-Cola female female executives. They would hit me up online. They'd be like, I want to see how this thing is going to work out, because like I'm living that. You live in that person you meet. He works for Delta, you work for Microsoft, and it's like y'all come to the table with your Louis Vuitton luggage worth of baggage in emotional life, and to see if you can pair, to see if you can have some kind of come together, and it's rich, it's full, and a lot of people are living that across the color line. Whether you've been divorced or you have kids, you don't have kids, you've never been divorced, you got into your 30s and late 40s without ever getting married. A lot of people they're on a second marriage, or like now they're divorced, and that's a real thing. To meet somebody, to meet another full grown up. You're in your 20s, you ain't 19 now, you 39, you 45. Here you go. Here he is. You met him at this business venture or the seminar in Vegas, and you're like, oh my God, how does this work? What are my grown kids going to think about him? These kind of things. And it felt good to be part of a storyline that kind of showed that, and just showed tender love, which was the thing that got me at the heart.
So based on what you just said,
yes, ma'am.
do you feel like it's helped you to gain new understanding about that same topic that you just mentioned?
What I got a chance for me to demonstrate was vulnerability. I'm not that vulnerable. You know, if you know you're going to get shot down, a lot of times you don't go. If you know they're going to say no, you don't even venture over there. It takes a huge, very strong human being to put your heart on the chopping block.
More than once.
More than
That's
once.
what I kept saying at the season. He just kept coming back for more.
That's like, who does that? Well, I mean, if you kind of know with the most tender parts you're going to get a no. It takes a human being with a lot of courage to walk up to the line and be like, I love you. I want you. I love you. I want you. And me not. And you're not guaranteed anything on the other side of that declaration. That person owes you nothing. They don't have to love you back. They don't have to want you. But that has nothing to do with your declaration. You got to tell that person, male or female, how you feel, what's in your heart. And you want to be the kind of person that would do that. I'd be like, you be like, yeah, I can do that. You be like, boy, you get up there and choke.
That's why I was so upset with Nova. When I was just like, where are you going to find this type of dude to do this again? Like, it's not going to happen.
Right. I was frustrated because in my eyes, Dubois was like her Hollywood almost. Like, he was willing to go above and beyond.
Right.
And I'm like, there's your Hollywood. Take him. Like, I know there's some conflict.
Take your lesson.
Figure it out.
I love that she's complicated. You know, that's real life.
That is.
Love can show up at your door. And, you know, love for him may not be love for her.
Right.
You know, this is no real rubric as long as you're being true. It doesn't have to work. It doesn't have to match up. Hopefully, I mean, I have kids, so I try to encourage them. What you hope they'll do, what you hope you'll do is live your truth.
Right.
And say what's really in your heart. Don't choke. Don't lie.
Right.
Get up there, tell that dude how you feel. And you might get slayed. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta tell that woman.
It's the truth.
You gotta tell her you love her if you love her.
Right.
Also, you gotta tell her you don't love her if you don't love her.
It's your truth. You gotta live in your
and
truth.
it's like, come on, now you people like viewers are going, ooh, shook, you know, because that's the truth. And I loved having a guy, you know, as I'm a real regular guy, so it's like I've not been that courageous. My children have made me more courageous than anything, because you'll go beyond for your kids. You'll like walk over fire. You'll hang off a building. Because you're like at the one, you're like, what does my life mean without my children? Kind of like nothing. So you'll do anything. But for yourself, I find anyway, myself much more like, maybe I won't venture. Yeah. Maybe I won't jump. You know, and for my kids, hell, the devil.
Let's go.
Let's go. You don't care. You gonna get it done. It's your seed. You'll do anything you have to. Well, for yourself, you be like, well, I don't know. Maybe they gonna say no. You know? That's how you be like, I don't know. Maybe they won't like me. You know what I mean? And I love that he was. What they wrote was a courageous human being, not perfect, but courageous with his heart.
And you know what? And speaking of courageous, you know, I felt like he saw the best in Nova. And a lot of people, especially on this panel, one of the discussions that we had was, is he trying to change her, or is it simply he's just trying to push her to be greater?
Oh, I got the perfect response. That question I can answer. And it's not even mine. Someone wrote on one of these underneath a picture or something like that, you know. So what if the NAACP, if I'm correct, and you can Google it, was founded in New York State. What if they decided just to be a local organization?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll stay in one little area.
Yeah, we're just going to stay in New York. We're just going to handle issues in New York, you know. Or Black Lives Matter after Trayvon Martin happens. They're like, we're not going to talk about, you know, Eric Garner. We're not going to get into Sandra Bland. You know, we're not going to get into Ferguson, because that happened all afterward. Right. We're just going to, you know, we're going to try to get justice for Trayvon. We're going to stay here in Florida. And the whole country needs you.
Yeah.
Yes.
The world is changed by the work of these kind of organizations, you know, and I think these were kind of some of the fundamental principles and differences between the two characters. This is a person who saw, you know, at least from my perspective, greatness in this woman, and the possibility that the whole nation, you know, that her gift is not local. Yeah. No way. You can start here, great. You know, but what you have to give to our people, to this is, you know, from his perspective, is something that can benefit like all of us.
Right.
And someone said that, and I was like, right, what if, Thurgood Marshall and them, no, we're just going to stay in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no.
It's like,
They ain't killing people, in Memphis. You're like, yes, they are. I think they are, and Portland and Oregon.
Right.
I think it was that Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. But it's
Right.
true, though. Like, if you have that gift to
That
affect,
calling.
then
Yes.
you have to do it. Yeah.
And so
Purpose.
I love that his perspective on, on what you give to the world, what you give to our community, which the gifts that you give to our country, that it's not local.
Yeah.
But that's just his perspective.
Right.
She does not have to share that.
And that's why we need to see you again in season 3.
Yeah.
That is why.
Yeah, you was like, okay, now how
back.
do I
Bring
help
him
people in Chicago and Baltimore?
Yes.
And that's what I loved about it. And not that he did it perfectly.
It was a little
You
push.
you
You
can't
gave him a
rush a
push.
woman. You can't push a person to do anything, even if it's to get clean.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the truth of the matter is, you can't push another grown person to do what they don't want to do. You can encourage,
Right.
and as a person, I've been married for 15 years, so like, you get in a relationship, you're going to find yourself doing things you don't want to do.
Right.
I don't know if that's under the list of changing you, but like, you're going to find yourself, you're going to do some things you don't want to do.
Right.
And the older you get, the more set in your ways you are. Sometimes the harder it is to adjust, to figure out that there's more than one way to get to a destination, but you don't have to agree with anyone. It's free will, and I love this part of it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Great
Because
point.
We see that with Charlie and Remy too.
Yeah, I would say, well, with Nova and Charlie, I thought they really kicked off this episode with their ardent defense of Ralph Angel, and you saw that those lines of loyalty really be dug in.
Yeah.
Going forward, I'm looking forward to how that plays out, but what do you guys think about them really coming together as a family? Because I feel like we've been on rocky ground with this family, and finally it even looks like to Ralph Angel, he's getting it now, that these are his
Their
people.
family is growing stronger and stronger with every single blow. And even with the situation that happened most recently with Blue, I'm just like, oh my God, please don't fall back into that place that you were in. But I'm not so worried anymore because his family's going to be there to catch him.
Yeah.
Even when they all came together, when he said, I can only say this one time, and everybody took that so seriously, I love how strong they are. I love the message that it's sending our Black community about, unity and being together, because when I think about family, especially in the Black community, I think about everybody's so divided. But I just love the strength. I love the loyalty that we're seeing with this family.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, it's like how I was raised. We could fight at home. That's fine amongst ourselves. We fight all the time. It's 3 sisters. But when we go outside, if someone is fighting with your sister, oh no.
Yeah.
Now we're all fighting that person. I don't care if y'all argued this
You have
morning.
each other's
now
back.
we have each other's back. And I feel like that's what we're seeing. Like amongst themselves, they're always going to get into it because they're siblings and they're all individuals. They don't agree with each other. But when somebody else hurts the sibling, oh.
But I feel like Ralph Angel didn't trust that with Charlie.
He didn't.
And this was the first time we see him
gets to
trusting.
see it now.
Yeah.
And she showed it right away. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, you're fired. Like, no second thought. And I'm still thinking, well, wait, this is still Blue's mom. And she's still fragile. Like, we might want to be careful with how we do this. But they're not thinking about that at that moment anymore because she hurt their brother.
Yeah, and then we also can't forget that this is a new ground for their family right now. But for the first time, Charlie is living in the same place with them. She would always come and she would always visit for summers at a time. But now they're all in the same place and they're all experienced. Their father's not there. This is a brand new dynamic where, in a sense, they've kind of had to prove something to each other.
That's true.
So I feel like we're seeing them grow together and we're seeing them learn together as a family for really, in a sense, the first time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree with everything y'all said.
Retweet.
Co-sign. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see siblings in real life. Siblings fight. Sometimes siblings don't talk to each other for years.
Yeah.
Bad things happen
Unfortunately.
within families.
Right.
And no one is exempt. Any
Right.
race, any religion, things can happen, and you find yourself not talking to. Your childhood goes to 18, you get out the house. You'll spend more time out of that house than you will have spent in it. But when you're in it, it doesn't feel that way. And so these are the most tender bonds you can have with your siblings, and it's great to see them to arm up, link up, support baby bro, and have his back unequivocally.
Yeah.
You know,
No
just
questions asked.
I'm the youngest. I got 4 older sisters. You know what I'm saying? To have your sisters,
Okay.
you know, huddle up and be like, "Son, we got you, baby boy." You know, you just be like, you need them at that moment because if anybody blink, anybody pause, you're like, I can't. I just told you what happened. You need them to go Voltron with you because
Right.
this is and then in that moment, you know, they can't, you know, armor you. They can't protect your heart, protect your soul. Then, I mean, maybe you're biologically related, but I don't
Right.
know if that's those are your people.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they
you need
came
that
quick.
support because at that point he was broken.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
he would not have been able to stand. He would not have been able to show up if it weren't for them like holding
Right.
him up. So it's so
And
important.
you know what else? It's like being a big sister, and I have 3 younger siblings myself. For the first time, I think maybe this year or last year, it's like at what point in time do you stop seeing your baby brother and your baby sister as your baby?
Yeah.
You know, like even like I had a very unfortunate situation happen a few weeks ago, and my brother was injured, and all I could think about is this is my baby brother. But then as time went by, and literally this past week we had a conversation, and I saw for the first time that he is a man.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that is what we saw happen with Ralph Angel.
Yeah.
You know, they saw him become a man, and he's still becoming that man. But it's like that very end when Charlie was like, "And I got you."
Yeah.
She finally saw her baby brother as a man.
Yeah, like the last
I thought that was
episode, 'cause
beautiful.
Up until the last 2 episodes, he was
Right,
still,
right.
You're fine.
But
I love that, and I thought Dawn just smoked this. I thought she, oh my God, she killed this episode. I was like, girl, fire! She was a monster in this episode.
Right,
she
right.
just in her talking with her brother when he's like, "You want some Godfather?" Yeah. She was like, "I'm gonna burn these dudes to the ground, but we gonna do it like stealth bomber style." He was like, "I'm with you."
I'm with
I mean, wait,
He knows. He knows.
That what you talking about? I'm with
He
that. And she
knows.
was like, and by the way, I fired her with the quickness. He was like, he felt good about it, but at the same time, he was like, oh, damn. And, you know, he was like, thank you, Sippy. He was like,
by the
oh,
man.
that's my
That one
bad.
back.
Yeah, thank you.
was gangster, but
I
I
you
know
on
you
that,
was
but
that
Sippy like, because she's delicate. So I gotta go find her because what's that going to
Man.
do? You don't find the mother of your child. I don't care what kind
And
of
that's
issue.
a responsibility.
Excuse me.
that scene was
Excuse me.
Who?
What your relationship is with this woman?
Yeah.
So the child you love, that's that child's mother.
Mother.
So he's gotta circle back and find her, walk through any house. You gotta knock on any door, any crevice, any place you think. Cause when that child asks you, "Where's my mother?" Boy, he better. He like, I gotta have an answer.
And that was heartbreaking to me to watch. Of course, Cardi B was,
Yeah.
but that was hard. A nice little break.
Yeah.
But watching him have to go and give her like other name to see if she was there,
Right.
that broke my heart.
And then-
Like,
Oh, but you know what? What I saw that he gained a new understanding for what she went through. And I think that that's something I think that was needed because all this time we see how Darla is being judged, but for the first time he went to every single crack house. He went to where she could have been, hookering. Like he went to all of these different places. That was a funny word to me for some reason. But he went to all those different places. So he had, she was working.
Where she was working.
She was working.
Could have been
and
working.
it was like he was walking in her shoes. And I felt like he needed to see that, to see what she was processing and kind of, in a sense, what she's still kind of going through.
Right.
So I felt like that was a powerful moment for me, and that's how I saw it as a viewer.
yeah, I guess I just saw it more. It was just sad. It was just sad. Like I was overwhelmed, like with the sadness of it all.
Right. I saw it as him wanting for her to hopefully be there so he can get her, but also the fear of, but what if she isn't here?
is
So it was
here?
like this balance of, man, I hope I don't have to go to another crack house. I hope she's at this one, but I don't want her to be here, but I need to find her. So this tug and pull of like,
What I know as a dad is, if I was playing the role, like if you had to play something like that, if you like being in having like if you had a substance abuse problem or someone in your family had a substance abuse problem, when you play those scenes, you'd be like, you're going to bring to what they say on the page, but you also know, you remember being 14 and having to walk in and go find your cousin and go find your
Right.
mother. Some people have real life experiences that they pull on in those moments when they, you feel the gravity and they know it from another perspective, and to imagine as a father, say the mother of your child told you that's not your child, like, you know what I mean? So you got kids, you'd be like, part of you got to go get the question for her, but like, you know, you can't not know where she is.
Right.
You cannot.
You can't not know. You have to. I mean, you gotta know. Like I have to. He is going. Ralph Angel going to have to find her.
Right.
And
Because it's not coming home. Blue, what's your mom? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
We got
No, that's not gonna make it. He love that kid more than earth, more than breath, and he's got to be able to look that boy in his eyes because he doesn't lie.
Yeah.
You know, he could be imperfect, but he's not a liar. So he's got to. He looks that kid in the eye and he tells him the truth, and you know, that's everything.
That's one thing I thought was so good about this episode is I guess as personally from a personal standpoint, I'm so tired of this like idea that black men aren't wanting to be fathers or don't want to take care of their children or don't show up, and this guy goes beyond, or black men are liars and he's never lied. So I just thought that was such a beautiful scene, and the emotion came through from Ralph Angel. What do you guys think about just how he connects with his own fatherhood, even though he's not
beautiful?
the father?
Let me speak on it. It's
you
beautiful.
Are a
It's
father.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Let me say that again. It's beautiful. Kofi be doing. I told that young man when I saw him, I thought that was a son. Let me tell you, young man, he's so beautiful in his portrayal of that vulnerability, of that love. You know, coming through the twisted circuits, or coming through everything he's been through, and it still gets out, and it's powerful, it's palpable, you could feel it. And when I say I love it, when I say I'm so proud of him, and I told him that, he's tall too, to his face. I was like, let me tell you something, Kofi, we love you out here, because like that's the real feeling. And he's a young man, and he's just giving it. And I'm blown away by his performance, and watching it tonight, and him talk to his baby boy, you know, Blue, and what he said to him, and where he goes as a performer, as a person, as a human. I mean, personally, I'd be like, shook, get him, King. I call him Young King. Get him, King. You know, he's really doing it.
And Bianca Lawson doing that scene in a swimsuit and a cap, by the way. Like, I mean, that had to just be like the most awkward.
Listen. I just want to say that I learned from that scene that black men need love. Black men need love from other black men. They need black men need love from they need love. That's the message that stood out to me.
I'm speechless, you guys. No, literally, that scene just gives me chills. And like you said, Darla's, she killed that scene as well. Like,
beautiful.
I can put myself in her shoes and see like that feeling of like, okay, is it over? It's over. Like, you knew it was over, but you still holding on, trying to be hopeful. And then her thing was like, well, don't treat Blue any different. I saw like a sense of relief, even though her heart was broken. It's like, okay, you're still gonna take care of Blue. Right. Yeah. So like, if nothing else, at least I know Blue would still be okay. But guys, and then the way that scene was lit, like, it's just too many emotions. Like,
and just the dialogue, because it was just so emotionally driven, and she wasn't saying anything that would move him in any way.
There's nothing she could say.
And then I think she knew. I think she knew.
But he wanted her to say something that would change his mind.
How gorgeous, right? How beautiful. For me, on a subtle level, that, you know, not like, okay, it's over. All right, I'm taking Blue with me. You know. Yeah. Like, what? In what world that doesn't happen?
True.
I'm taking my son. I mean, okay, we're over. It's actually not your son.
I'm the
like,
mother.
Let's not jump over something as huge as that. Yeah. That actually is my son. It's actually not your son. It's not over. I'm sorry, I lied, but okay, we're gonna come pick up his stuff.
So beautiful.
The amount of trust that she has in him, to leave her son in the safest place in the world, in the hands of his father. Now that right there. On the writer's end, I'm almost done. That's tremendous. Oh, yeah. In the real world, that's tremendous. To understand, I'm here. Right. You're the safest hands for him right now. Right. And I'm gonna do my best to get myself together. You know, and you know, you're not gonna not love. I almost broke. She almost broke me. I know you hate me. You're not gonna like, because people. In the real world,
right?
Get your son.
Call someone. In the real world, you know, you hope that people are that great. You hope that people are that anchored in love. But
That's true.
You go to a couple of funerals.
Always,
Go to a couple of funerals, you know, and you'll see, you know. Anyway, life sometimes it can be much more uglier than that.
Because in the real world, that would have been his son, and she just would have been mad and said, "You still can't see him." Like that would have been his
that
son.
would have been reality.
Like, I'm mad at you. We're
taking
over.
my kid.
Okay, I'm taking my kid. And I'm moving away back to my parents' house.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's living her truth and knowing herself that she's not the best thing for him right now, and that she has to get herself together. And then the fact that he even asks, "What are you gonna do?" Like he still wants to know, like, what is your next move? Because we both know you're not good right now.
But I think Darla's always known that he was the better choice. I think that's why she kept the lie for so long, because she knew from the beginning that he was the better choice. Like, I mean, come on, if you think about it, she was gone. She just came back into the picture in his life. She's always known that this was not his son, but she knew that he is going to be a great father. She saw something in him. She saw how he was raised. She saw the people around him, Aunt Vi. She always knew he was the better choice.
My heart breaks for next season though, because at some point they gotta tell Blue, right?
Oh yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
because,
no, he doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Ralph
he
doesn't
can't
lie. He's not gonna
That's
go
break
on.
my heart.
Yeah, he's not gonna go
That-
on for 10 years
break
and then
my
when
heart.
his 17th birthday, hey, by the way, you're not really
And
my
Blue's
son.
not dumb.
And Ethan,
Kids
he
aren't
always-
dumb. They know he knows
Something
something's
is-
going on, so he's gonna ask a question at some point.
That scene where he was holding the doll and he was in the garden and he was like talking to the doll and he was like, "Well, they said that damn girl. I think they were talking about Mama."
Yeah.
He knows. He comprehends.
Yeah. So you can tell his little DNA is like working at what the truth is, but
That was for me the moment, you know. I honestly, the real world could be so messy. Humans do not always do what's best for children.
Right.
I mean, very often they do not. And to have this, and you know, this piece, and in that moment, both of them was they were and as the broken as that situation was, they were unquestionably, there was no hesitation on what would be good for Blue, and that's gorgeous, like on a spiritual level. That's just food for the soul. They didn't hesitate. She was the one to make sure he's like, boys. It may not be in his veins, but he's like, he is. Hey, I was like, my dude.
and her reaction to that when he said it was like,
That,
oh.
you know,
Thank God.
like there was no hesitation on both of their parts, and like that's just.
That's real love.
I need to rewatch that scene like once a
That's
week. It
real
was
love.
that powerful.
I love that.
Yeah.
He's gonna get an award for that. Like,
That's
that's an
beautiful.
award-winning
They
performance.
deserve it. They deserve
Award
it.
winning.
Absolutely.
I agree.
But let's talk a little bit about Remy and Charlie. I love Charlie's. I mean, she's no man can talk to her anymore. She's over men right now.
Dawn, you killed it, girl. You smoked that screen, torched it, baby.
And this was the first time for me. Remy really came off a little bit like kind of chauvinistic a little bit. What did you guys think about that? I thought he was like really being the man, trying to tell her what to do, and like he understands more, understands better.
You know what? I was so proud of her because when she stood up in that moment, she was like, "The farmers left me." You know, and she stood up for herself. I was like, "You're damn right, girl. You're damn right."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yes, girl. Women everywhere."
You trying to talk
We're
some
proud.
sense into him?
No, no, you're not gonna bring that over here, okay?
Oh, now.
No, but seriously, it was so good because stop it.
Yeah, okay.
Reading the comments from our viewers, like they would say the same thing that we would say, and the ladies on this panel, we would have the argument like, "Oh my God, I'm so sick of Remy. He's always belittling her and trying to put her down." But you know what? She was so justified in how she felt in that moment, and like I agree. I think for the first time he saw a very dark side of her that he had never seen before, and he realized, you know what? I don't know you.
But was it even dark though? It
was
even a
dark.
side.
I'm
to
sorry.
Me.
To me, it was like, I don't know. It was like she was such a badass. Like,
I didn't think it was dark. I
thought it was a badass, but I didn't
for me, you know, they're gonna try to break us. They've been trying to break us, and they got us over a breaking point, and they think they won. And you got to know when someone pushes you to that place. I mean, they're learning each other. They ain't been together for 12 years or 5 years.
Yeah.
He's still learning each other. She's like, I'm a body these motherfuckers.
Right.
I'm like, you gotta respect that. She like, I don't You can't tell me I'm a body these days. I was like, that's why Ralph was like, yeah, that shit right there. We need to get them. We need to get them. And I'm like, I love, but
finally.
But your guy is gonna be like, well, hold on, girl. But you gotta know, she like, dog, I'm not.
They got drones. They had drones.
She's officially the godfather.
Yo, she going in. You don't know what she gonna do, but it is not gonna be pretty. She's like, what you said? We're gonna slaughter them. She's just words like butcher.
Inside.
That's when you know they have come after us.
Because that's what they've been doing the entire time.
They've been trying to break us. She's like, they're not going to break us. We're going to come through the back door. We're going to...
Remy was a little soft. I was annoyed. Remy was a little soft to me.
I think that's the issue with their relationship is that she is a beast. She goes hard.
She's a beast.
I like Remy. I think he's great, by the way.
No, we
love
Remy.
But it's not going to work. It's just not going to work.
What you mean it's not going to work?
It's not going to work.
He's not the one for her.
He's not.
Okay, why you say? Explain.
She needs another
that.
beast. I'm sorry, but she needs another beast.
Equally yoked, right? Equally yoked.
And they're not from the same.
You know about balance? Like somebody do this, you do that. Like computers.
I agree with you
know
100%.
Trucking. Like we don't gotta both be truckers.
But he wants the white picket fence. He wants and that's okay, but it ain't her.
It's not her.
And I'm only
Didn't she have that already? Like maybe?
No. She had like the gated.
No, she
had the
gated
gated
the
compound.
strong gated compound. I agree. She didn't have
it.
Remy
He
thinks
wants
things
an
can be.
Aunt Vi.
Yeah, Remy thinks things can be simple.
He wants an Aunt Vi.
Or Nova, who wants to
He
stay
wants
in
a Nova, and
the
that's why they had
the
that
locality.
little
And her
moment
and that's why you and Nova ain't working out.
We're not working out.
That's why y'all ain't working
The world, and she wants to stay where
Nova's
she
like,
at.
look, I am fine right here in my little ass town.
Like, child, Delta flies everywhere.
You know what? Maybe Dr. Dubois. I'm just joking.
No.
Hey, who knows?
Hey.
She talking with this the Brodor. What's that? How you pronounce her name?
Boudreaux.
That ain't gonna
I
work.
think they did kind of allude to her going into the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
Because if we watch that scene, it's like the light and then the dark. And Remy walks into the light and she stays there in the
It
dark.
was
And
She got to go battle. She had to
she's
battle
going
for her
into-
company, battle for her family, and she got to go with the trench warfare.
Yeah. She's
And you
playing
got to
with
respect
fire
it.
Yeah.
because this white man is getting at her.
And it could be anybody. I mean, he happens to be
Yes.
Caucasian, wonderful,
Yes.
but that could be anyone trying to
Yes,
take your
very
stuff,
true.
trying to take your family down. And she like, it's on.
Any means
But my thing
necessary.
outside
Go
of
get it.
taking the business down, the way he's coming at her like a physical attraction, like trying to get at her like that is on a whole nother level. Like
that-
I'm with her, I'm trying to
say that.
get you from the
Disgusted.
inside. You
That-
got me messed up.
Oh!
That gave me those like a Weinstein sort of like vibe.
Like
right?
you think this is a game?
I'm trying
And
to
I'm
break
so
you
glad
in, let's
said
date.
that.
She like,
But no.
Like, I want you.
To me,
You can't have me, brother. Sorry.
Girl, listen, I'm about to go in right now.
Speak, go
I'm about
in.
to go in.
Jump in.
In that moment, I felt so disgusted because it was like you respect me, but you don't.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like you think I'm a piece of meat or something.
Yeah.
Like you think that I'm just no.
maybe you're just attracted to
But
her.
at the same time, you need me.
Yeah, well,
I'm joking.
I
She's
don't know.
like,
She's like, okay, let's see how I'm
I'm being devil's advocate. Maybe he just thinks she's pretty.
well, no,
I don't know.
there was a chemistry between the two, but I would say in the earlier when they first
Yeah.
met, when they first met, there was a chemistry. We saw that chemistry when they first met at the mill, and there was a little bit
I
of
love
chemistry.
this moment right
but
now. They're like,
to me, this was
no shot.
this
That
was
was a different one.
that wasn't him.
No,
No,
because
that was the one I was trying to wind and dine her. This the second one that came in there trying to get at her.
right.
Like that.
And the thing is, as a pretty woman that is smart and intelligent and that is strong and that is a beast, you're always like a lot of women, especially in our society, you have to prove that I'm more than just a pretty face. You know, and I felt like in that moment they were looking at her, yeah, you know, you smart, you know, but there's that but.
And
And I don't like that but.
Yeah, because the crazy part is you have to prove that you're more than a pretty face to even get in the room. So she has already
She's
proven
proved
that.
that,
That's
but-
why he's talking to her. But then he still treats her as if she needs to prove it again. And that's the part where it's like, okay,
And that's what I
look.
don't like.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was a proving thing. I think it was just him trying to use his power to gain this sort of
Exactly.
sexual thing over her.
Exactly.
And so that's why I got those little Weinstein vibes. But they're always good at tying in. No, but
I want to say, I want to set them off, but I'm trying to be.
Do it. We ready. We ready. What's up?
No. I censor myself. This is a great conversation. This is a great conversation.
If y'all want him to set it off in
No,
the chat,
I'm
what's
not
up?
gonna be like, why'd you even say that, black man? What you talking about? I'm just talking.
But did anyone think that Remy and Nova, that was inappropriate for Remy?
Inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
So,
Inappropriate.
so where should Remy have cut himself off? Like,
I think they were so vulnerable, and I think the common thing that they both want is what Aunt Vi in Hollywood. They both need love. They've both been
Everyone
searching for
wants
love.
that, but yeah.
But I think in that moment we saw that commonality between both of those characters because we've never seen those two characters together. But if you think about it, both of their relationships aren't working because they both just want to be loved a certain way. I feel like they were both vulnerable together, and that's why I feel like they shared that moment.
But there should never be a moment between them.
No.
Sister Cole, I
But-
don't care.
because it started off very familial, and then it just kind of subtly changed. You know?
Right. Whose
Yeah.
fault was it? Was it Remy's fault?
It felt
I
like
don't think it was either one of their fault.
I think it was both.
I think they were like, okay, so for me, the conversation was like, okay, yeah, I cooked this food. And he was like, oh, you cooked this food? Like, you know, like he.
I feel like
It was
a
a domestic-
moment of
it was a
them finally
domestic
seeing each
attribute.
other.
It was-
They never
yeah.
really had a moment where they realized, oh, we have some things in
But
common.
Nova
huh?
pushed it because he says, "Oh, that's a love you can't ever find. It might be impossible, whatever." And then Nova kind of comes back with, "Oh, I think it can be.
It's rare.
I think it can be done. I think it can be found." And so I think she kind of pushed the issue a little bit just in that vulnerable moment of seeing each other for who they are.
What you got to say? Because you're over here.
I'm just letting y'all go. It's a show. I'm just here as a guest. I'm just, I'm an innocent bystander standing by,
Come on, black man. What you got to say?
Hey. It's just a no. It's a no-fly zone.
Right.
There are no circumstances. I mean, I'm from the Bronx, so there's like, hey man, you leave that sister alone. I mean, I love drama, so I love that that they'll even. I mean, and it does happen. I mean, Jerry Springer's full of it. So, Maury Paul, I mean, it happens. I mean, crazy things happen. People do, wild things. But, not that it would be certain things you're going to do that you can come back from, right?
Yeah.
So there's certain things you do that you can never come back from.
Yeah.
So, and that's when you're really playing with that, that
Fire.
plutonium, that yellow cake. You playing with that. That's that plutonium yellow cake. Okay. That's that radiation, right? That's that. Now that it's.
So,
hey.
So do you guys think we're gonna see more of those moments in season 3?
It's a natural evolution. And speaking of that, why don't we get into predictions? So let's go ahead around the table and get into our predictions.
Well, based on that, we'd see more of that, but I'm not voting for that because I don't want to see any more of that.
It'd be good drama, though.
Yeah, but I'm just it'll make me upset. I'm still honestly rooting for your character. I'm a huge fan of you and Nova being together.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see you come back and sweep her off her feet and knock some sense into her.
Okay.
I don't know if
in a gentle way, right? No physical knocking. Right?
Absolutely not.
Just checking, young lady.
I think we're definitely gonna see Charlie go through the trenches with the Boudreaux, and we kind of already went over Ralph Angel and Darla. I don't know how that's gonna play out. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that because I'll piggyback off of this. I think that we are going to see some back and forth between Darla and Ralph Angel, and I think it makes sense because they were just about to get married. I would love to see them get back together. I want them to work through this because I want to see them be a family. Charlie, I don't think she's a beast. But I just don't want to see her put herself in a position that she can't get herself out of. Like, I don't want her to fall too deep because what if she does really start to play with fire and she really does start to use her womanly ways, because I really see that happening, and it gets to a point where it's like, oh, shit. Like, what if I like this man?
I don't expect that.
I don't know.
I don't know. You never know. You never
That's my
know.
prediction.
You never know. Predict it, young lady. Predict it.
What about you? And obviously, if you know something, then you can't say don't say anything.
No,
Okay.
I
So
even
what are
speak
your
English. This
predictions?
is my third language. So if I go off, don't worry about what I do. I love the Michael Corleone, so I want Charlie to go ham. They got that coming.
Yeah.
They got that coming. So however she sink their battleship, go get it, mama. go get it. She got Broski lined up with her. You know, Nova going to fall in line with that. So they just need to go and body them people. They need to put them in their place. Y'all got a right to live and prosper.
Right.
And they need to go on and you got to do what you got to do. She she going straight corporate white knight. She just going to get in there and she's going to go and just get them from the inside, and I love that. So I'm excited about that. Of course, at an emotional level, the most tender story for me would be watching Ralph Angel, Darla, and Blue, and how they heal, how they find a way back to some kind of harmony, which would be great to see. But I know they're going to do that masterfully. Of course, Hollywood and Vi, they're going to, for drama, you need conflict. So something's going to happen. More money, more problems. We be much more happy the way we are because you start bringing.
And she's wise. She's wise.
Oh, I mean, I could already see that coming now. That's a mile away. They're too happy. They're too happy.
Yeah. Well, you bring in a pot of gold and all hell breaks loose, don't it? That she said that. You wind up in court suing your family, your own friends, your ex-husband. You'd be like, God damn it, we didn't need this money. And she's like, but she's probably seen something like that happen before. Someone passes away, leaves 12 plots of land like this, and then you got infighting forever. And a lot of families don't even recover from that. They never get back to good. And so of course there's Dr. Dubois, and so we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully beautiful things happen. Like I've been saying, just an honor to portray reality, to be truthful in a role, and the desire is to have art, that touches people's souls, that tickles the soul and inspires you. And when I'm in a position to be able to do that, I know I'm living my destiny. Art that touches your soul and tickles you and moves you from the inside out. I'm in the zone, and so I had an opportunity in Dubois to do that for 8 episodes, and we stepped in it like a monster, and and played and worked with some beautiful people, and I love that. Everywhere I go, people I'm living for that relationship. I'm like, yes, girl, I feel you. No, I'm like, grown women be like, hey, I need this. I'll be like, baby, I feel you. I don't know what they're going to write, but I feel you. Don't you know that feeling?
Yeah.
Don't you know that? When I was a kid, the first. The first actor I saw on television that really reminded me was seeing Kadeem Hardison guest star on an episode of Spencer for Hire, a show y'all might not even know, on ABC. And I remember seeing he was the first person to look just like me. And he's a little bit older, but I remember going, oh my God. And I got a chance to interview him on a teen show afterward, and he changed my life being in his orbit. He was the Different World was already on the air. I think this is 91, 92, and it was a beautiful thing. So sometimes the energy you put out there in the world as an artist really transform. And I was in the Bronx. I'm like, I'm not even. Hollywood is nowhere in my periphery. You're trying to get from the A train to the B train across town on a 41 bus. It's 20 degrees and it's snow on the ground. You ain't thinking about what's going to happen in Studio City. It's not even a part of your vocabulary. And to see him, to be in his presence, did something profound to me. It made it tangible, and and his art. But even before meeting him, his art, touched me in that way. So to portray anything that really moves someone in a positive way is for me is destiny work. So proud, honored.
It's amazing. And how do I go predictions after that? But that's my
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But I think at least I can give that prediction is that will continue throughout season 3. I think we got the door open for Charlie and Davis because now Remy's gone. The serious relationship was now gone. And I think we see the door open. But I also think we're gonna see Nova behind the back to get with Remy. And so I think they'll both be sneaking around. Charlie will be sneaking around with Davis. Nova will be sneaking around with Remy.
That's nasty.
And then they'll have to reveal it, but it'll be all right because it'll be like, oh.
It will never be all right.
No, I think Charlie will be fine with it because she'll be back with Davis. So she'll be like, oh. And then
you hear Dr. Dubois over here? That's nasty.
That is nasty. You can't.
But I think we'll see Dr. Dubois, and I think Dr. Dubois will come in.
I think he's going to work for her. I could see him coming back to work for her.
I think he'll be a reminder to Nova that she should be doing more. And I think hopefully she'll
I think we
follow
forget
that.
though that Nova sent in that article, and for her that was doing more. So I think we're gonna see her do a little bit more of that too on her own. And I think part of that was inspired by her relationship with Dubois.
No, of course, yeah.
And that interaction.
I agree.
And
I think he inspired her.
And that piece of writing that she did on the screen, you know, I tweet about it, just like I've never seen a character emote the exact same way I would emote.
Right.
Never. And I'm just like, I would have written that. And it was just so profound because how many years I've been watching TV? I've never seen it. We finally get the representation that I think we've all been yearning for, but didn't know that we were yearning for until now, until this moment.
Right.
So, amazing stuff.
Yes.
Guys, we're so glad to have you in the chat. Again, thank you guys for joining us all
guys.
season. Thank you, Mr. Ballard, for joining. Dr. Ballard.
Thank you
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Again, guys, my name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong.
Hey guys, it's your girl Kels. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Urban Gypsy LA.
Hey guys, always a pleasure. It is Miss Candy Marie, and you can find me on Instagram at Miss Candy Marie and on Twitter at Sweet Kendora TV.
If you're on the World Wide Web, the interwebs, I am at Alimi Ballard. Please feel free to say anything you like as long as it's positive and wonderful.
Yes. We'll see you
with
guys.
that. Bye.
See you guys next season.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.